Hi friends, I hope you have gone through my previous video on Unit 1 Cement. Today I wanted to revise second unit, that is Cement, Concrete and Mortar, which is having 20 marks in main examination. So we are going to discuss various important questions on cement, concrete and mortar lesson. First question, what are the different grades of concrete? Different grades of cement is different, whereas different grades of concrete is different. Here we are discussing regarding the different grades of concrete. So concrete has got various grades like M5, M7.5, M10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 like that. M stands for the mix, whereas number indicates its compressive strength after 28 days. According to the mix, according to the grade of the concrete, the nominal mix or the proportion of concrete varies. We are discussing here which grade of concrete is carrying how much nominal mix and where it is used, that we are discussing in this question. So first we are starting with M5 grade of concrete, which has the nominal mix, that is proportion 1:5:10. 1 means 1 part of cement, 5 is the fine aggregate or sand, 10 is the coarse aggregate. So such grade of concrete is used for heavy walls, foundation, footings, etc. That is mass concrete work, we'll say. Second grade of concrete, M7.5, whose nominal mix is 1:4:8. Same thing, it is used for all mass concrete work of heavy walls, foundation, footing, etc. M10 grade of concrete carries the mix proportion 1:3:6. It is used for the foundation of buildings, mass concrete work in culverts, retaining walls, etc. We are using such a grade. Next grade is M15, which is having the proportion 1:2:4. This grade of concrete is used for all general RCC works in buildings such as staircase, beam, column, slabs, lintel, RCC piles, road, pavements, etc. Next grade is M20. Its nominal mix is 1:1.5:3. It is used for water retaining structures, precast products, piles, etc. Next grade M25, which is having the nominal mix 1:1:2, is used for heavily loaded RCC columns, beams, etc. Second question is define RCC and state the properties and uses of RCC. RCC means reinforced cement concrete. Plain concrete, already we know that it withstands only high compressive load, but plain concrete is weak in resisting the tensile loads. So the steel along with the concrete is used, known as RCC. Reinforced cement concrete RCC is high in resisting the tensile force and also in compressive. Hence steel is embedded in concrete. Whenever tensile stresses are expected in concrete, such a concrete is known as reinforced cement concrete. In this type of cement concrete, steel or reinforcement bars are used. Usually the bars are having the diameters 6 mm to 32 mm diameter. They may be in the form of plain or ribbed bars. Or you can use even welded mesh, fiber reinforcement, pre-stressed wires, etc. instead of bars. Next is properties of RCC. What are the different properties of RCC? Means here RCC is highly economical when it is compared with other building materials. RCC is durable and it resists the moisture variation, temperature variation, and also it resists the actions of all weathering agents here. Third property is it is fire resistant material. Fourth one, watertight structures such as water tanks can be constructed using RCC. Next property is RCC is molded to any shape and size before setting and hardening of concrete. So these are the 5 important properties of RCC. Next is, what are the engineering aspects of RCC or uses of RCC? RCC is used for the construction of structural elements like beams, columns, staircases, slabs, lintels, etc. It is used in the construction of storage bins, bunkers, water tanks, tall chimneys, towers, etc. RCC is used in making the raft foundations, pile foundations, etc. Also, RCC is used in the construction of bridges, dams, marine structures, aqueducts, high-rise building, and many other civil engineering works. Third question, what are the ingredients of concrete and their functions in concrete? In the previous video, we have discussed regarding the ingredients of cement and their functions. That is a different question, and this is different question. So, in this, the following are the ingredients of cement concrete. Mainly, the 3 ingredients are there here. So, first one is cement, second is aggregate, third one is water. Cement means here, usually we are using Portland cement in all types of concrete work and is manufactured in a various forms nowadays. The selection of type of cement depends upon the environmental conditions and the conditions where you are going to use that one, and also the type of structure. Second ingredient is aggregate. In aggregate, there are 2 types, coarse aggregate and fine aggregate. Here one more question you are going to get in examination. Explain coarse aggregate and its properties, or define coarse aggregate and explain about its properties, or you may get define fine aggregate and list the properties of fine aggregate. So here we are discussing regarding the second ingredient of concrete, that is aggregate. In that, first one is coarse aggregate. The size of the coarse aggregate should be more than or larger than 4.75 mm, then only it is known as coarse aggregate and is used for preparing the good concrete here. Then what should be the properties, or how the coarse aggregate should be? Means the coarse aggregate should be clean, free from clay, lump, weed, etc. Clay and dirt, if they are present in coarse aggregate, then they causes the setting and hardening of cement and also causes the strength of concrete. Second property, that is coarse aggregate should not be porous and the water absorption should not be more than 1% when it is kept in water for 1 day. For RCC work, usually machine crushed aggregates are preferred. Elongated and flaky aggregates should be avoided as possible as. 10 mm and 20 mm size of aggregates are normally used in RCC work. Aggregates neither be oversized or undersized. So these are the properties of coarse aggregate. Next aggregate comes, that is fine aggregate, sand will say. The fine aggregate is defined as, it is a material which passes through the BIS sieve number 480, or you can even define it as the size of the fine aggregate whose size lies between 4.75 mm and 0.150 mm is considered as fine aggregate of sand. For preparing good concrete, fine aggregate should have the following properties. So what are the properties of fine aggregates means? Sand or fine aggregate should be free from silt, clay, salt, any organic matter. If the clay content or silt content is present in the sand, then it should not be more than 5%. For all RCC work, sand should be well graded, that is the particles should not be neither too fine or nor coarse. Third property, the sand should be, if wet or moist, then it will becomes more in volume. Correction should be applied for percentage of bulkage when we are using such sand. Third important ingredient of the concrete is water. Water is the important ingredient as actively it participates in the chemical reaction with the cement. The strength of cement depends upon the quantity and quality of water used here. Water used for making and curing concrete should be free from injurious substance such as oil, acid, alkali, salt, organic matters and other elements which decays the strength of the concrete and also steel. Usually potable water or drinking water is used for making concrete. Next question. Define concrete. State the advantages and uses. Concrete is a strong and tough material. It is a mixture of cement, sand, coarse aggregate and required quantity of water. We can use the concrete for all types of civil engineering works. Concrete is a major civil engineering product extensively used in almost all constructions. So what are the properties of cement concrete? When we are discussing regarding the properties of concrete, here comes two different stages. One is plastic stage known as green concrete. Second stage is hardened stage. Here properties of green concrete. What are the different properties of green concrete means 3 to 4 different terms we are going to get. They are, first one, workability. The workability of freshly prepared concrete is the ease with which we can mix it, place it, compact and finish without affecting homogeneity. Means the mixing, placing, compacting, etc. should be easily done, which is known as workability. With how much ease we are going to work with concrete known as workability. Second is segregation. A good concrete is a homogeneous mixture of cement, sand, coarse aggregate and water. If properly these all materials are not mixed, that time these materials will remain on different sides. Cement will lie on one side, sand, coarse aggregate and water will lie on the top side. So that time the proper homogeneous mix is not formed. If such mix is used in the construction, then the strength, durability, etc. is going to affect here, known as segregation. Next property of green concrete is bleeding. Bleeding is the separation of water cement slurry from the coarse and fine aggregates, either due to excessive quantity of water in fresh concrete or due to excessive vibration during compaction process. Bleeding of concrete causes the formation of pores and reduces the compressive strength. Bleeding means extra water along with the cement tries to flow out through the formwork, due to which the compressive strength of such concrete, such work will be reduced here. Next is harshness. Harshness of concrete is due to the use of poorly graded aggregates in the concrete mix. A harsh concrete is porous and difficult to get smooth surface or smooth finish of the surface. Next is the properties of hardened concrete. First we will discuss regarding the strength of the concrete. Hardened concrete should have high compressive strength and is the most important parameter considered in the design of concrete structures. Second is the durability. Concrete should be capable of withstanding, resisting the adverse effect of weathering agents like wind, rain, frost, etc. In addition to this, it should resist the variation in temperature, variation in moisture, freezing, thawing, etc. Next is impermeability. Hardened concrete should be impermeable or watertight. This property of concrete is considered in the construction of water tanks and storage bins. Next property is resistance to wear and tear. Hardened concrete should be capable of withstanding abrasive actions during its usage. When concrete is used as a flooring material in roads, in pavements, then it should withstand the abrasive action. That is, without converting into powder form, it should resist the heavily loaded acting upon it is known as wear and tear. Further, we will discuss the uses or engineering aspects of cement concrete. So, first use is concrete is used for making RCC, reinforced cement concrete, and is used for preparing PSC, pre-stressed cement concrete. Second use is it is used for mass concrete works like dams, bridges, retaining walls, construction of reservoirs, etc. Third use is it is used for making electrical poles, railway sleepers, and high-rise towers. Concrete is used for the construction of silos, bunkers, etc. Concrete is used for the construction of water tanks and water construction. Next use is it is used for the construction of road pavement and airport pavements, etc. Concrete is used for the construction of arches, ornamental works or ornamental structures. It is one of the best universal expected construction material and used in various civil engineering works. So, this is about the cement concrete. Next, we will discuss regarding the mortar. In this mortar, we are going to have 3 to 4 important questions. We will discuss, we will see what they are. First, we will start with the definition of mortar and state the properties and uses of mortar. Mortar means it is a mixture which contains binding material, fine aggregate, and required quantity of water. Properties of mortar means before starting the properties of mortar, we will see the meaning of these 3 different terms. They are mobility, placeability, water retention. Mobility means it indicates the consistency of mortar mix. The consistency may range from stiff to fluid. The mobility of mortar mix depends upon the composition of mortar and where we are going to use for which masonry work, finishing work, etc. Depending upon that one, the content of water or consistency will be fixed. Next is placeability. Placeability or it is the ease with which mortar mix can be placed with minimum cost in a thin and uniform layer over the surface. Placeability depends upon the mobility of the mortar. Placeability of mortar mix should be such that strong bond is developed with the surface of the bed. Third term is water retention. A good mortar mix should possess ability of retaining adequate humidity during transportation and laying over the porous bed. Now we are directly moving towards the properties of mortars. Mortars should be effectively withstand the adverse effect of weathering agents like rain, wind, sunlight, etc. It should resist the actions of weathering agents. Second property, it should be impervious and act as a watertight layer. Third property, it is capable of developing designed stress. It should be economical and it should be durable. It should be capable of developing good adhesion with the building units like bricks, stones, etc. Next is, it is easily workable. It should not affect the durability of the materials with it which it comes in contact with. It should set quickly so that speed in construction may be achieved. The joints formed by the mortar should not develop any cracks and they should be able to maintain their appearance for sufficiently long time. Next we are moving towards engineering aspects or uses of mortar. Mortar is used as a binding material for brick and stone masonry constructions. It is used to carry out plastering, pointing of exposed surface of masonry. It is used to provide fine finish to the concrete works. Mortar is used for decorative finish to the masonry walls and roof slab. Mortar is used as a filler material in ferro cement works. Mortar is used to form joints of pipes. It is also used to prepare molds for coping, corbel, cornice, etc. Mortar is used to hide the open joints of brickwork and stonework. Next use is mortar is used to fill up the cracks defected in the structure during maintenance process, etc. These are the uses of mortar. Next question, explain the different types of mortar and their suitability, or how the mortars are classified. It may come in the examination for 10 marks here. So classification of mortars are done on the basis of 4 important aspects. They are bulk density, kind of binding material used, nature of application and special mortars. Bulk density. On the basis of bulk density, there are 2 types of mortars. They are heavy mortar and lightweight mortar. Heavy mortars. The mortars which are having bulk density more than 17 kilonewton per meter cube are known as heavy mortars, and they are prepared from heavy quartz or other sands. Lightweight mortars whose bulk density is less than 15 kilonewton per meter cube are known as lightweight mortars, and they are prepared from the light porous sand and also from the pumice stone and other fine aggregates. Second classification depends upon the kind of binding material used. Under this, there are 5 different types of mortars are there. They are lime mortar, surkhi mortar, cement mortar, gauged mortar, mud mortar. So first one, lime mortar. In this type, the lime is used along with the fine aggregate known as lime mortar. The lime may be used fat lime or hydraulic lime. If we are using fat lime, then it shrinks to the great extent. That time about 2 to 3 times in volume of sand we should use the fat lime. Whereas if we are using the hydraulic lime, then the proportion of lime to the sand should be around 1:2. The mortar should be consumed within 1 hour after the mixing. Usually lime mortar is used in the damp situations. Second is Surkhi mortar. This type of mortar is prepared by using surkhi instead of sand. Surkhi is a powder of burnt brick. By replacing half of sand in case of fat lime mortar, the powder of surkhi should be fine enough to pass through the BISU number 9 and the residue should not be more than 10% by weight. Third type of mortar is cement mortar. In this type, the cement is used as a binding material along with the fine aggregate. Depending upon the strength required, importance of work, the proportion of cement mortar is depending. The ratio usually varies from 1:2 to 1:6 or sometimes more. This mortar used within half an hour after mixing of the cement and is used in all civil engineering works. Fourth type of mortar is gauged mortar. Even it is also known as cement lime mortar. The paste prepared by mixing cement with lime mortar is suitable, known as gauged mortar. In this mortar, usual proportions are 1 part of cement, 3 part of lime and 2 to 12 parts of sand. Cement added to provide better hydraulicity and early strength to the mortar. And we are using this gauged mortar for bedding and for thick brick walls. Next is mud mortar. The paste prepared by mixing suitable clay or soil with water is known as mud mortar. The soil which is used for preparing mud mortar should be free from grass, pebbles, etc. Then mud mortar is used for ordinary temporary sheds, etc. and also for plastering the walls in rural areas. Third classification of mortar depends upon the nature of its application. There are two types of mortars: bricklaying mortars and finishing mortars. Bricklaying mortars or sometimes brick masonry will say, and also stone masonry. For masonry works we are using the mortar known as bricklaying mortar. Finishing mortar, that is for plastering, we are using known as finishing mortar. This is nature of application we say. Fourth one is special type of mortars. Under this 4 to 5 different types of mortars are there. They are packing mortar. For packing purposes we are going to use the mortar. Second one, X-ray mortar. X-ray, to cover the X-ray rooms and all we are using mortar. X-ray mortars we are saying. Lightweight mortars. So like this varieties of special mortars are there. So this is the different types of mortars or how the classification of mortars are carried. This may come in examination for 10 marks. So along with this, once again go through the given notes. If you are having any doubts regarding this, then please contact me. Take care of yourself and your family. Thank you.